Yeah, that's what Tony was telling me. And when he said that, I was like, that sounds similar to the Allisons in Yarborough a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So after that, just to stay focused, what races have you been to other than the 2001 Daytona?
Doug, just for the record, I was watching like the Daytona 500 from my home. I didn't actually show up at the 500, like I was too young. But just
Oh,
stay on time. Just to just to stay off topic. Probably my favorite race that I've been to was the 2018 NASCAR Xfinity race at Road America. Me being the honorary race official for that race, having me talking to many drivers, many NASCAR officials, many NASCAR executives. Um, the winner of that race was Justin Allgaier, and I talked to him during pre-race. And Justin Allgaier, let me just say, I just share a very close friendship with him, and he told me during pre-race, you're gonna be my lucky charm, and I'm gonna win this race. And when the white flag waved, I said, "Oh my God, he's gonna win this race!" And basically, I got to talk to him in victory lane, and I got to stand with the trophy and took a picture with him. But at the end of the day, that's probably one of my favorite NASCAR moments.
that's really great, man. I
Yes,
remember Allgaier. He coulda, woulda, shoulda won a Road America back in
yeah,
2011,
yes,
and
yes,
that was the race where there was so much confusion because of they maxed out their three green white checkered finish attempts, and then it seemed
yes.
like Allgaier was going to win. Then he ran out of gas, and then it looked like Ron Fellows was going to win, and then he was penalized for passing cars under yellow, and then it went to
Yes.
Reed Sorensen.
Oh yeah, crazy times, great, great racing, and it's gonna be pretty fun having the Cup guys and Xfinity at Road America this year.
Yeah, I hope you get to go there. That'd be great.
There's conversations coming up, and but yeah, but I'm really excited on where the this year brings, and stories and announcements will come out at a later date.
Sounds good. Who is your biggest racing hero?
Jeff Gordon. Because why is because I just loved how he raced. I just been a diehard fan of his for many years, and he's just been my idol. He's been my hero. I actually got to meet Jeff in his final year of racing back in 2015 at Chicagoland with the help of his pit crew, his PR guy John Edwards,
Hmm,
my two friends Joey and Joe for helping me set up the meet and greet. But at the end of the day, having me talking to my hero, that's probably number one on my list.
that's really cool. I met mine in 2015 when I met Jamie McMurray.
Yeah, Jamie, he's a great guy. He's like I'm looking forward to seeing him like what he can do in the Daytona 500. And heck, he's won it there before. It could happen again.
Yeah, it definitely could, especially since anyone can win those restrictor plates.
Absolutely, like anybody can.
Yeah, I love the unpredictability of Daytona and Talladega. Like, can you believe that Boris said almost won at Daytona one year?
Yes, that was back in 2006.
Yeah, like, I read about that. And then I read about that about a few years afterwards when I first got involved. And the fact that a sports car driver almost won at Daytona, that would have been big if he would have been able to pull it off.
Absolutely. That probably could have been one of the greatest wins. Underdog wins.
Yeah. In fact, if I remember reading right, Tony Stewart, who won that race, he passed him with like at the white flag, I believe it was. And
I
afterwards,
believe you're correct.
yeah, when he passed Boris at the white flag afterwards, I think what Tony said afterwards was he was even impressed. He was like, I really hated to ruin it for Boris, but our car was too good to lose.
You never estimate Tony Stewart. You never estimate him because in a blink of an eye, he was always there at the finish, and that's why he's a three-time champion.
For sure. Can you believe that he won on a tiebreaker in 2011? That was
That
really cool.
that was probably one of the greatest chases I ever seen in sport
I,
between between Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart. Having Tony Stewart starting at the back at one restart because to repair his, I believe it was the right front. He had right front damage on coming to a restart or something. I can't remember, but to cut story short, I'm glad that Tony got to be crowned champion. But at the end of the day, Carl Edwards should have won one.
yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yeah, Carl was one of those guys that should have won at least once. But yeah, that's the sport. But that was the greatest chase I ever saw. It's amazing how Tony said at the start of the chase, he was like, we're wasting a spot in the chase. And then he ended up winning it.
Yes, yes, good racing, like just an excellent chase, and just it was just Tony Stewart's night back in 2011.
Yeah. So who do you think is the best road course driver?
If I truly have to pick one,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Gordon, because back in the early 1990s, early 2000s, he was the road course king, winning at Sonoma and Watkins Glen, and his last win back in 2001. I can't believe that's his final one that he won at Watkins Glen. But back in 2006, he got to win for one last time at Sonoma with his team, his pit crew, and his new fiance.
Yeah. And he also won Sonoma in 2004, I believe, as well.
Yes, dominated.
Yeah, that was
Flat.
dominated. And I think Scott Pruitt was like one of the few guys to lead laps in the race.
Yes. Yes, because Gordon led. I think Gordon led like 100 or 98 or 90 laps out of the 113. I think I gotta go back and do my my research, but yeah. But at the end of everything between Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart, those two were the road course kings.
Yeah. Tony Stewart was especially one of them. Like, I really think that if he didn't break his leg and have all those tragedies happen to him in the final part of his career, I think he
Yes.
would have won more road course races by the time he retired.
Heck, at least he won. At least he won in 2016.
Oh yeah, at Sonoma. That I remember being really happy for him after that.
Like, you know what? It's just because it's kind of like me celebrating Jeff Gordon in his last win at Martinsville. It was kind of fun watching Tony Stewart doing it for one last time.
Yeah, I agree. So, what are your plans for 2021, if you have any?
Well, Doug, I'm going to tell you something. Like, I have talked to some people at Road America about me the coming back to the track, but due to COVID-19, I'm not so sure. We're gonna make sure everything is okay, make sure it's safe. But if not, then I always have a plan B, plan C, plan D, EFG. Then Charlotte, the Coca-Cola 600. I will be going back to Charlotte to seeing like all my NASCAR colleagues, my NASCAR family. Because Doug, I know many of the NASCAR executives. I'm the part of the NASCAR family.
That's really incredible, man. I'm really happy for you.